A portion of today's show is brought to you by Health Diagnostic Laboratory, Inc.
Welcome back to the broadcast. A couple of weeks ago, we introduced you to our new partners, the Health Diagnostic Laboratory, where they do an incredible test, lots of testing actually, that can literally tell you anything about your body and your health. Such important work. So we are back now with Boomer Cornwell, and Carla, who is a clinical health consultant. So Carla, tell us what you do at Health Diagnostic.
Well, we provide a personal health plan for any patient that comes in. So we can talk about diet, we can talk about exercise, smoking cessation, stress management, anything that the patient and the provider would like to have to help better their health and improve their outcomes.
Okay, and so Boomer, we've talked about what you all do there as far as testing and all the different blood panels that you can do, that you take it so far beyond like the traditional blood work that a physician would do. So is that how it works? Like somebody comes in, they get a blood panel, a screening, and then at that point, Carla, you step in and go, okay, here are the results that we've gone over with your physician, and here's what we need to do to set you on the right track.
Absolutely. So when they have their lab work done, they can meet with a health consultant over the phone. If there's a health coach that is local in their area or that is in their provider's office, they can meet with them face-to-face. And they come up with their personal plan for no additional cost to the patient. And
that's what's so cool. So this is yet another way that you've taken traditional medical work, traditional blood work, and you've taken it one step further. Are the people who come in, are they a little blown away by the amount of information that they get?
They can be. I'll tell you that, you know, many labs offer like a traditional blood test, say, okay, and they'll put it together in a neat little package and kind of give you a result, and that's certainly part of it. But being kind of a health and disease management company, what Health Diagnostic Laboratory has done in involving these clinical health consultants is really kind of the key to the success. I didn't really know how well it was going to be received a few years ago, but I'll tell you, I think this is the coolest thing that this lab offers. I really do.
Because it's one thing to know that you have high cholesterol or that, you know, I mean, what are some of the other traditional markers that they look for?
Oh gosh, well, Carla, for instance, is a certified diabetes educator, so we talked last week about diabetes and the role that it plays in cardiovascular disease. And then so some people, let's say that there's a little bit of a compliance issue, okay, so the doctor's going to see the patient, but they may not see that patient again for follow-up for 3, 4, maybe even 6 months.
Right.
Well, what is that patient doing between now and then? Well, a lot of the times that's where these clinical health consultants will come into play, so they can have, you know, some type of consistent contact with that patient. To keep them on track, or maybe the provider has some type of a specific plan they want that patient to follow, and so this is kind of the accountability coach, maybe, or health coach, as I used to call them. And I tell you what, this is really the key in getting the patients to either slow and sometimes reverse that disease process.
And don't you think that so oftentimes a patient isn't as involved in their health care and prevention as they should be? They kind of rely on the doctors to tell them. Like you said, the doctors might go months without seeing them. So this is a way for them to be really proactive and have somebody like Carla who's on it. You know,
well, yeah, and you know, doctors, there are so many things that come down on these guys nowadays. They have a certain amount of time with the patient. You know, they want to be able to go over everything from A to Z, but they just literally don't have the time to do it. You know, so that's another way that these guys come into play, and they can take that doctor's visit, you know, that was this long, and they can extend it out a little bit further and really dive into the weeds of what's going on and what did the doctor mean when he said this, and well, the doctor wants me to do X, Y, Z, but how do I do X, Y, Z? You know, so these guys play a key role in that.
Yeah. Working in conjunction with the physicians. How often do you recommend that people come in and have a particular blood panel done?
There's a lot of language, Medicare specifically, that will say every 3 months is appropriate, and say a primary care center. Now, a cardiologist is going to do a little bit longer than that, maybe 6 to 9 months. But typically, every 3 months is going to be a follow-up.
Can things change that drastically?
Absolutely.
In just 3 months, really?
Absolutely. If a patient is very motivated, they can come in and we can really make steps to reversing that disease process very quickly. And it helps that we're there, being able to guide them and help keep them accountable and keep them on their plan.
And you said that you do everything from nutrition consulting to smoking cessation, if there are smokers, teaching them how to stop smoking, and then you're able to test again and show them, hey, great job, look at the numbers now, and this is what it means. Because I think a lot of times patients don't really understand all the mumbo jumbo. You know, it gets kind of intimidating.
And
right.
what's interesting is we find a lot of times that the patients will open up to the clinical health coaches, even more so they open up to their own doctor.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you guys are doing great work. Thank you for coming in. Good to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You can get more information about the Health Diagnostic Laboratory by going to their website, hdlabinc.com. You can also call them at the number right there on your screen, 1-877-4HD-LABS. And Boomer will be here every Tuesday to talk about your health. No more excuses, especially as the first of the year rolls around. We have more Table Talk next. Stay with us.
Bye.